It's time for our monthly market update, and today I am covering Parker 80138. This is from our Altos reports, which is a subscription that I have, and actually you can get access to it too. It can send you monthly reports, or you can get in at any time to see what's happening in your local zip code. You can put in your own zip code if you're not in 80138. But today for this video, we are just covering some of the updates as Parker has been pretty hot lately. As you can see from this market action index, and this is just the overall health of the market here in Parker, you can see that we've tipped even more into a seller's market. So this lower area in the gray is from last month, and this upper area in the green is the current month. And you can see that we are even more in a seller's market. So right now you can see that it says that the home sales continue to outstrip supply, and the market action index has been moving higher for several weeks. This is a seller's market, so watch for upward pricing pressure in the near future if the trend continues. That just simply is a reflection of supply and demand. We don't have a lot of supply here in Parker or across the metro area, but Parker in particular is holding and raising prices. So over here on the right, under the real-time market profile, you can see this median list price has been relatively steady. You can see that we had some drops last year as we were going through the higher interest rates, and that certainly took a hit on our prices. But we've come back up, and right now our median list price is 883. Our average days on market is 46. So you see this nice trend line of coming down. So that just means the days on market between when you list a home and when it goes under contract is 46 days right now. I mean, that's a really good number. 42% had a price decrease, and this is about average for us historically. So that's the number of homes that had to decrease their price prior to it getting a contract and being reflected as under contract. So you see again the volatility that we've had over the past year as we've struggled with these interest rates that are rising. The relisted rate right now is at 8%, and I'll get into that in a little bit about what that means. But you'll see that again, that's a nice trend line coming down because you don't want to have a high relist mark. In this next section of this report, we have the median list price. We've got some other charts that we'll pull up here in just a second. This is an active drop down. You can see here that we've got it segmented. And again, this is a section here called market segments that can break it out between the different price points. So I'm going to take the market segments off for just a minute, just to keep this as a little cleaner as we look at this. And then we've got the 7-day average, which again is the dotted line that you can see here, and the 90-day average is the solid. So as we look past in the past couple of years, you can just see that we've got some very normal trends that we see in our prices. And we were on a trajectory for the past several years of rising prices. And then it decreased, of course, last year with the interest rates. And then now we've got just this slight uptick here, which is a really good sign for us. As we look at the average days on market, this shows you again over the past several years, and you can see that our market is very seasonal. In fact, for each one of these spikes, it's typically towards the beginning of the year. So that was February of 2019. This is February of 2020. Here's December of 2020. This one is February of 2022. And again, January, February of 2023. So in other words, at the beginning of the year, we typically have the longer days on market as people, we just don't have as many buyers out at that time. But you see that it almost drastically starts to decrease as we go towards the May months. And then for each year, in fact, you watch this come down. And then in May, it levels off a little bit, and then it starts its climb as we enter the fourth quarter every year. So really, really interesting. This relisted, what I wanted to talk to you about is the um, the number of relist. So relist is basically if you've put your house on the market and you've gotten a contract, you go under contract. If the buyer changes their mind, whether their financing fell through or they found another opportunity, that would be where your house comes back on the market, and that is considered a relist. And we did have spikes of those last year In particular, buyers were no longer able to afford the home as the interest rates rose. So we had a lot of buyers that were backing out, some of them just out of fear. But you see that this relist number is really coming down drastically, which is great, great news for all of us. Let's also just take a quick look at the inventory levels, and you'll see over the course of the past 6 months, our inventory has been coming down. We are definitely in a low inventory situation, not quite as low as it was over the past couple of years, more in line almost with the averages that we've seen prior to the pandemic. So a lot of analysts are just tossing out 2020 and 2021, these years here, because it's just the data was so wacky at that point. And so what we're doing is just looking back a little further and seeing that these numbers are a little more normal for us. Of course, not in relation to the pandemic years, but as we just look back a couple of years. So we're still in a very low inventory situation, which positions the sellers positively for wins in our current market environment. But I am Cher Revolinski, and if you like this data, please comment or like this video. And also, if you want this delivered to you on a monthly basis, where you don't have to listen to me talk to you about it, be sure to just hit subscribe, put in your zip code, and you'll get this on a monthly basis, all of this good information. Talk to you soon.